Welcome to a new update. Altcoins and altcoins. Altcoins have not been doing anything in the past few weeks, but yet in this boring period where there is no interest into crypto, we can relate to why that is the case, which is people are mostly, especially retail minded people, having altcoins in their portfolio. And altcoins are still in the lowest regions of the cycle when it comes to the Bitcoin value of them. So I understand that people might not want to get into a position yet. But in this update, we discuss why it's interesting right now. We're going to discuss an overall overview on the altcoins. We're going to discuss the altcoin portfolio, which I trade and I update multiple times in our Discord, in the public section. If you want to have real-time updates, you get the premium section, which you can use through the trial week to check it out. Additionally, my personal portfolio, which I trade actively. So I've got the Swing Socials altcoin portfolio, which I share in here on the weekly updates. And I share that in the platform. And I've got my trading portfolio. The trading portfolio is currently up around 20% in the first 2 months. It's going to be traded until we reach 100k. And it started at 5. And we've got the Socials altcoin portfolio, and we've got the trade IDs. And the trade IDs have been granting a result of 30R in this month, 25 in the previous month, and also 25 in May. So structurally, you are able to make money if you join our platform. So make sure to use the shortcut with the trial week in advance of becoming a member. Now, before we continue, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our sponsor, which is OKX, where you can get up to $60,000 of sign-up bonus. And additionally, you're going to get 20% of lifetime discount on your trading fees if you join our through our affiliate link. Now, when we talk about altcoins are, as you can see, alongside the markets overall, not doing much. We're just consolidating here. And technically speaking, the total market cap and the altcoin market cap have been seeing a rally in May. We've had Bitcoin going up through here too, but technically this was the peak already. Massive bearish divergence here, which you also can see on the yields right now, so that's a good sign. And since then we've started to collapse. So this is capitulation based on price. This is capitulation based on time. In this period, people feel like, hey, it's the time to buy the dip again. In this period, people start to understand or think that the markets are dead and that markets are never going to go up. Every bounce is getting sold off, right? So it's a question of waiting it out before we break this high, and then we start to have the real rally, which is called the disbelief rally. So in this period, we are in a comparable period as what we witnessed in 2019 and 2018. Here it was slightly longer. We've reached the peak in December 2017 and we reached the new high in November 2020. If that is the case, November 2021 until November 2024, we still have got approximately 16 months to go. So we're in the middle, which is that we're 10 months prior to the Bitcoin halving. We've got this outlier here, but at least what we can conclude is that we've got the range low, we've got the range high, and we're acting in between. What is crucial in this factor is that the markets have been correcting more than anticipated, so we were expecting us to reach the 200-week MA and EMA and just simply hold there. In this case, we've got another level, which is this previous high, which rejected again, and we're constructing higher lows. Currently, people still assume that we're going to have a drop towards the lower boundaries, given that every bounce has created a new low in the previous bear market or in the previous 18 months. Now, we are making higher lows, which means that if we stay above the area of 1.08 trillion, we can simply continue facing highs here again and start pushing us towards a new breakout and a new high, which we can ultimately look at 1.6 or 2.13 trillion for Bitcoin and crypto as a total market cap. And a total market cap is most likely going to bring somewhere here, have a correction, and then we start to have the rally. This is the pre-halving run, and technically speaking, it's also the wake-up call for the altcoins to do well. Total altcoin market cap is even more on a crucial point, as you can see. Technically speaking, a great weekly candle, but we've got the same structure. We've got a case where we are still accumulating within that range. We've got the lows here, we've got the highs here, and we're looking at a potential test of the resistance again, which, if we break through that area, is going to grant us a continuation pattern in which we start to have a rally up to here before we retest the lows again, right? In that case, on the other hand, we are also holding a crucial area of support, which is the 200-week MA and the 200-week EMA. If those are not going to hold up here, that's when you start to assume that we're going to take these lows and we're going to have a drop of at least 20 to 25%. But at this point, it starts to look pretty good. Now, when we're looking at the rest of the markets, and we're especially the Bitcoin dominance chart, we are copy pasting what we have been seeing in the previous cycle. We are 10 months prior to the halving, still rejecting at the 200-week MA and EMA for the Bitcoin dominance. We're doing the exact same thing here, and we are retesting the previous high, which we have been doing here too, and most likely are reversing the trend here overall. This means that there is still a slight chance that we're going to have dominance going up for one more time. And that is because if we have a bounce from Bitcoin and reclaim 30k, if it starts to run towards 38k, most likely altcoins will suffer in the Bitcoin pairs. And that is going to cause some pain across the markets, but the USDT values will do well. Overall, as you can see in the previous cycle, we have witnessed a case where the markets are most likely going to continue to fall in terms of Bitcoin dominance. There will be bounces in between, which we have been seeing here too. But most likely, you're better off by investing into altcoins at this point instead of not doing it. Why is that? Well, let's look at ETH against Bitcoin. ETH against Bitcoin, especially if you look at the monthly chart, it is currently having a pretty normal consolidation. So we've witnessed a bear market crash here, which is since 2018. We've had a bull market run, and we are actually at the same levels for ETH Bitcoin as we were during the peak of the bull. We are only down slightly, approximately 25% in over a year. So if we're looking at the weekly time frame, we can also assume that we continue to build us higher lows, which means that we are also making higher highs, which means that we've got a lot of highs to take when we start to reverse on ETH Bitcoin. We've swept the low here, but are eager to start testing the highs at this point, and ETH against Bitcoin is actually a super bullish asset. When we're looking at the rest of the markets, I think the conclusion is the same. My preference is Chainlink, as you might know, and we're going to discuss that in a little bit. But Chainlink against USDT is currently still having the same figure. It is having the manipulation. We've got a 1 year accumulation period taking place here. We have been taking liquidity beneath the lows, a reclaim at $6, a rally towards the range highs, consolidation, and most likely expansion and a wake up of the new bull cycle to take place, which we also witnessed in 2019 before we had a new sideways period and after that a new expansion. So I would not be surprised if in the upcoming periods we're going to have that breakout upwards. Now when we're looking at Chainlink against Bitcoin, there's even more conclusion because we are trending down since May 2021. You can see that we've had the peak here. We started to make lower highs since, but the lower highs and lower lows are starting to become closer to each other. So the gap between these lower lows are relatively big and these lower highs as well. But now we've got this one and we've got this one. We reclaim the previous level. Ultimately, if we stay above 2300 sats, we can assume that we're going to have continuation towards the range high and reverse the trend. So instead of betting for continuation downwards, I'd like to bet of continuation upwards, as especially the case for a recession is dwindling away, institutional interest is there, crypto is not a security. I bet on the assets like Bitcoin, ETH, Chainlink, especially if BlackRock and big guys are jumping into the markets. They are presenting it the moment that they have finalized everything. They are not going to present it to crash it afterwards. They've done it already. All right. Now, when we're looking at the portfolio for the altcoins, the current portfolio is up a little bit. So we're up to 1614, which is still down 15%, 16% from 2K. We are currently heavily into Chainlink, and why is that? I'll explain it a little bit. We are up on Curve as a big position. We still have USDT available to actually buy the dip or accumulate some more. I think my crucial trigger for using a bit more of this is when Bitcoin breaks through 30K. We've got Lux at 140 bucks. We've got Atom at 130 bucks, AXS and RSR, which are the smallest ones. So I think we can focus on the largest two, and I've been accumulating a little bit here, which I update in my altcoin portfolio, which I do multiple times a week in the sections, of course. Let me see where we are. In this update, which is for the premium section, I've given the full disclosure of the portfolio. It's been posted a few days back when Chainlink was trading a little bit higher. What has been done? We have been filled, which is that we have an add-on for Curve at 73 cents, and I've got another bid at 69.2 cents, which obviously didn't fill yet. We also had a few orders going on for Chainlink, which I've bought at 673, 667, 660 from earlier, and we've bought a Curve at 80 cents and 81 cents. So we have been accumulating a little bit more, through which the sizing has been growing over time. I've also added on Lux, which is slightly underwater at this point. What's my theory when it comes to Chainlink? My theory and my strategy have been unchanged. If you're looking at the positions at this point, you can see that this retest is quite clear. We've had a similar retest taking place now too. Most likely we're going to take these highs. So my initial TP point, that's also in the updates, my TP is going to be around 930 first before we start to do the upwards momentum. I want to use my current momentum to buy the dip on the add-ons as long as the trend remains upwards on the higher time frame. So in this case, I've not been taking TP at 840. With my trading portfolio, which is more active, I did. But with the swing trade, I'm looking to take TP at the range high and then start adding if we have a slight correction. Now, when we look at Curve, I've been losing a little bit on my add-ons, but I mentioned that this area is for me an additional zone to get my add-ons going. So what I've been doing is I've been adding at 73 cents, and I'm also going to add when we reach 69 cents, because I think that Curve and DeFi is creating a higher low here, through which I'm looking to expand that by taking the profits in this range around $1. So that's the update for altcoins right now. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll be back soon. Ciao.